The ritual of Shabbat dinner comes on Friday evening at the end of an intensive work week, and it creates an invitation for a pause to literally take a deep breath, to gather with people you love or are getting to love around the table, to slow down. It's been a tradition for thousands of years.
Social connection, the degree to which we have strong, flourishing, thriving relationships with others, is key to the Jewish experience over millennia. Social connectedness is a fundamental human need that has real implications for our health and our well-being. Our study, which is funded by Templeton World Charity Foundation, is a research practice partnership with OneTable.
OneTable is really a place where people can come from all over and say, I'd like to meet other people around the Shabbat dinner table. We primarily focus on young adults in their 20s and 30s.
So one of the things that was motivating us to design this study was this sense of a breakdown in American public life and civic life, this idea that we don't know our neighbors, we don't trust our neighbors.
Loneliness is a crisis that is felt acutely among young adults.
And what is surprising is actually that younger American adults are lonelier than older American adults.
The data was pretty overwhelming that, we looked at Pew studies and others about populations of young college grads. The likelihood that they were going to become a member of a congregation was almost nil. The question is always, why is there a decline? I think part of the reason is that many institutions require prioritizing the whole over the individual, which is beautiful and meaningful. But when you are at that stage of life, it's not your top priority. I think really kind of figuring out who you are is. And to us, the correlation between being disassociated from Jewish life and also feeling disconnected from other humans really was part of the motivation.
Was there something that we could learn from Shabbat dinner that might help us improve that situation? Not just for American Jews, but could there maybe be something to teach the rest of American society that would be appropriate to borrow? Shabbat dinner is very flexible. There are ritual components of it, but there's really nobody there to say, you must do this or you must not do this.
There's 52 weeks in a year generally, and we have at least that many different resources for people to create a Shabbat that meets exactly them and who they are. Dinners have taken place in about 700 cities across the country, nearing 200,000 dinners.
Right now, I'm making Israeli salad, and then we also have schnitzel that Yuval made, and then I also made brisket, I made Israeli meatballs, potatoes, asparagus. My friend made her own homemade challah. It was just crazy that random people came to our Shabbat. Then we never met each other, but we all just wanted to support each other and eat together and laugh together.
I'm not practicing the way I used to practice before, but a lot of it stays with me. And I think for me and Tammy too, it's something that brings us together.
Shabbat comes back every week. So every single week you have to do the same traditions, and doing the same tradition on a routine basis keeps you feeling connected.
For me, what I've experienced at the Shabbat table, everything comes onto the table. Everything is talked about. It's a chance for everyone to just mean what they say what they mean, and just let loose. There's more to it than just having dinner.
That's a tie.
we ask a question that the other people at the gathering shared my values. And whether or not you actually felt aligned with people at a Shabbat gathering didn't matter in terms of your feeling of loneliness and social well-being, which suggests that maybe we have like a little bit more room for tolerating difference than we might imagine. So we found that any kind of gathering is beneficial for mitigating loneliness and building a sense of social warmth and social connectedness. But Shabbat dinner is actually something that yields more benefits than other kinds of social things that you can do. So we assigned some people to gather, for example, on a Friday, and some people to gather on a Tuesday, which is not a night of the week that really has any sort of inherent sacred attribution to it. And those Friday gathering groups definitely showed more benefit than the Tuesday gathering groups. And we also assigned some groups to share food and some groups actually not to have any food at all at their gathering. When we looked at the data, we actually saw that sharing food didn't show any benefit, and that really surprised all of us. Not having food made them pay more attention to other things that might happen at the gathering to make it feel like an occasion and a reason to be together. And I think it's a fascinating finding in terms of what the implications might be. Did you have to be sure that you had challah? Did you have to serve your food family style? Did it matter how the guests felt about each other or how well they knew each other in advance? And it turned out that all of these different things that we tried in our model, and we tried probably 40 different things in different arrangements, not one of those things actually was a powerful driver of that benefit that we were seeing. There was a benefit just to having participated in a Shabbat dinner as a kind of holistic entity rather than needing to absolutely adhere to this or that component of a Shabbat dinner, which does suggest that that vision of the flexibility seems to hold up, at least in our own study and model of testing that. Shabbat seems to be a container that can build social connection, that can help us feel less lonely, can increase our sense of well-being. But that container can be filled with all kinds of things. And our study doesn't give you any rules about what those things have to be. Our study just says, get together with other people to celebrate Shabbat on a Friday night. And the act of gathering together for something bigger than yourselves, for something that connects you to sacred time, that connects you to Jewish people in Shabbat, that is really going to do a lot of work in terms of yielding benefits for you and your social connectedness. I'm not here to sort of say, if we all had more religion in our life, we would be happier and we would be less lonely. But for people who are worried about their own loneliness, who don't have the quality of relationships that they want, religious communities could be one thing that might work for them to provide that network.
At its core, Shabbat is about marking time, living, eating, and engaging with intention, slowing down enough to be grateful for the gifts that you have.
Just come together with the people in your lives to share a meal, to share special time, a day that's set apart from the other days of the year. Don't worry about how beautiful your table looks. Don't worry about, whether everyone gets along perfectly.
You forge meaningful relationships around that table. That sense of joy and health and strength are essential and core to human flourishing.